It's thinking about it.
When it turns red, you'll be live.
Hello, everybody. It's Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead. I'm just assuming we're there.
No, we're
It
not.
says we're still buffering, but it's doing that all. Yeah, it says we're live.
No,
All right.
Now you're buffering again.
Yeah. Always.
Always.
All right.
Pop out
So
chat. Your chat ain't come through.
it ain't come through, but we're getting there, guys. This time is messing us up, ain't it?
Yeah, it's like no good. That's for sure.
Danny wakes up extremely early.
I can't help it.
One day this week, I ended up in town. I was ready to go to town at like 6 o'clock. I was up and going and 90 to nothing and got everything done. And at 6 o'clock, I looked at the clock and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I got another hour and a half before it's time to go to town.
It's
Most everything in our town opens at 8. Some of them at 7.
some of it's 7.
And so I was like, this is killing me. And then a while ago, I got supper ready, and Danny was out taking the leaves off the back of the house, and he come in. I said, you want supper? I said, it's 4:30.
Yep.
This time it's crazy. I see somebody from Macomb, Mississippi. Pam.
That's Mandy Summerall from South Mississippi.
Yeah, see, we got lots of people from Mississippi and Spokane and Texas and Louisiana and California and North Carolina and
Lou Krudrick said, "Did
Texas.
y'all get any rain?" Well, we got 1/4 of an inch yesterday, and that is it. Just enough to wet the ground about that deep.
There's Lou Just Lou and Lone Wolf. Okay, both of you get your I think both of them got test kits or a test kit in a book. I can't remember. Last week on should have already gotten their stuff. I think they've sent me emails. Over on Patreon, I did a giveaway of 2 soil tests today, and Stacy, JoJo Watts, and Cool Breeze Cottage both contacted me. They'll be getting soil kits this week, and so it's kind of fun to give things away.
Yeah.
Danny did his soil test.
Yeah, I did
analysis?
I did the soil test analysis. I did a video. I think you put it up Monday,
I think.
and well, I was blown away at the results of a container garden. Just using rabbit manure, old cow manure, and organic bone meal. I was blown away, and plus our own soil from Pecan Grove. I was just blown away at the high analysis that was in it. We was only low in 3 things. Our pH was a little low, the iron was a little low, and the boron was a little low. That was the only 3 things. I think maybe calcium might have been a little low.
Or,
But that was, I mean, all the rest of them, when normal ratings was around 20 to 60, they were in the 300s. So we were screaming high. We had 86% nutrient density in our soil, which means that our plants will be healthier, which means that they have more nutrition, less disease. I mean, it's all that kind of stuff. So,
all right. I don't know how you say your name, but they want to know, how often do you suggest you do a soil test?
I do it every year because that's how, after about 3 or 4 years, that's how you get your soil up to optimum performance. Because the first year it tells you to do this, 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 and this. Well, you amend it, and then you plant your garden, and what happens is your garden pulls stuff back out of the soil. So you do it again the next year to see really where you're at, and if it says to add just a little bit of one other thing, then you add that. By the 3rd year, you should have your soil pretty much figured out as to what it's going to be low in and what it's going to need amending in. I mean, that's what we do. We automatically know here in the Deep South that lime is a big issue for us. Our pH is around 5.5 here, 5 to 5.5, which is too acidic for gardening. And most people never think about the pH. And I don't care how much fertilizer you put out or what kind of fertilizer you put out. If that pH is not right, it does you absolutely no good whatsoever. So that's why pH is number one on the list for us.
Okay, I'm just looking through.
Danny, what are your thoughts on a greenhouse in Southern Virginia? I think it's a great deal. I mean, you're going to need it. Let me put it that way. You're in Southern Virginia, in the next few years, you're going to have a greenhouse. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I can't go into any kind of detail because, believe it or not, we've had more videos pulled this week. They just keep hitting our channel saying that, you know, medical misinformation, and they're pulling videos like crazy. So I've got to be really, really careful about what I say. And there's not misinformation; it's the honest to God truth.
Well, it's your opinion, and
I could back up what I say, though.
Well, they don't think so because it's not their opinion,
right?
And I think it's stupid because you know. They don't want us to have an opinion, but they have an opinion, their opinion's right. They don't back up half what they say either.
No, I can back up what I say.
Andrea says I call bullshit too.
Yeah. I mean,
they're saying Doug and Stacy got some pull. Well, Rain Country, she did one on baby food, making your own baby food. Instead of purchasing baby food, and I think they pulled it or they took the monetization. I don't know if she ended up with it up, but they took ours down. They took 2 in the last couple of weeks off of Patreon, which I upload to YouTube, but under a different account. But YouTube's the one that pulled it down, not Patreon. And then they took 1 off Deep South.
Yeah.
And all of them are at least 3 years old. Or at least 2 to 3 years old, so they put that way.
Yeah. But yeah, there's other channels. It's not just us. You know, I mean, we understand that there is no freedom of speech. I don't care what platform you're on. The DOD monitors every platform that's out there. There's a 2-second delay on every platform out there. And for someone who says, well, you need to go over to this one and go over that one, I won't worry about it because they're all monitored.
There's Doug and Stacy. They said demonetized and said maybe in 90 days they will look at it. Buckle up, Buttercup. Yeah. Yeah. They're going back to old videos. And anything you said during the C time. Yeah. And even now, like Rain Country's was new. She was just putting it up. I've seen other people talking about herbs, alternative medicines, things like that. Some of your doctors are being pulled. Not necessarily their channel being pulled. They're pulling videos. Yeah. And it's only a matter of time when they'll start pulling everything else.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
But it's all a means to the end, folks. It's all a means to the end. We're going to stay here as long as we can, and we're going to tell the truth, even if it kills us.
All right. Linda Jeter says, Danny, I harvested 4 beautiful lemons from my Meyer tree 2 weeks ago. Since then, the leaves have begun to turn yellow too. Is that too much water, or do I need to fertilize it to overwinter? Help.
No, your leaves will turn yellow just simply because it's the time of the year it is. I mean, they're going to all fall off the tree, usually.
What we got this week, Chris brought me a 5-gallon bucket of lemons that are like this. They look like baseballs.
They're right. Yeah, they're huge.
They're huge. And I said, Chris, I only wanted a couple. I said, I need all your lemons. He says, no, you don't understand. I have 4 5-gallon buckets, and you can't tell I've touched a tree. I can't imagine how big his tree is.
Yeah, he said it's pretty tall and pretty big.
So I'm going to be making some lemon juice and stuff with mine. I'm telling you, because it's great to have fresh lemon juice. I squeeze them and then put them in ice cubes and then take them out and put them in a Ziploc bag. and then I have cubes of lemon juice all until it runs out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they may eventually take us down. I don't know. But if they do, it is what it is.
It's a private company. I mean, it's a
they're a
privately owned company. I guess
It's not the federal government. It is a privately owned institution. And I mean,
we agreed to their terms, and their terms change daily.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you that exactly what their terms are. They're very vague. You get an email saying we've changed this, and this, and it's real vague.
Yeah.
So you don't know when you're stepping on toes and going against the grain.
Let's see here. Sue-Ann Kritzer says, Danny, did you hear about all the earthquakes going on in Italy? Actually, one of the largest earthquakes on the earth is just outside of Italy. You probably are going to see something really serious take place around Italy here before long. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they don't start evacuating people, because
that's what they're doing in Iceland right now.
I know Iceland is already evacuating tons of people because they're having hundreds of earthquakes up there. It's one of those things that there's so much going on under the ocean as well as on land, and it's all about vulcanization right now, because simply put, you're going to see some of them start going off here before long. Let's just put it that way.
I did do some lemon powder. Somebody's asking about NC, said, do I do lemon powder? I put the lemon juice over in my freeze dryer, and I freeze dried it and made some lemon powder. Oh, you just touch your tongue to it, and woo, it's tangy. But usually I just freeze mine for the most part. So, and the zest, I did do, I freeze dried the zest, the peels, and all you gotta do is powder it up for lemon zest. It's amazing. But if you don't have freeze dryer, you can dehydrate.
Kami97 says, how do you get rid of white flies and aphids in a greenhouse? When you figure it out, let us know. I mean, you could probably use some kind of harsh chemical to do it, but we fight it every year. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm being honest. We fight it really, really hard every year.
Miss Carolyn Smith said that her wild orange tree has lots of beautiful oranges that are getting ripe, and they're really sweet too. We have satsumas.
Yeah, we got satsumas
that
that's ready to pick.
Off. I mean, they're beautiful, and we've got a few kumquats, but they're not all turning. They're taking their time. And what else do we have? Oh, we got key limes, not many, and we've got some lemons on 2 different trees, but my lemons are getting pretty good size. They're just now starting to turn.
Let's see. Miss Darlene Wright says, shoot, under Texas has been shaking. Actually, Texas is on fire underneath it. It ain't just shaking. Texas is actually burning underneath the earth. Let's see here.
They don't want anybody to be self-sufficient.
Yep. Storm says they don't want anyone to be self-sufficient, which is 100% accurate. Mark Nettles says, just got me a Farmall Cub. Now I have to get all my plows. Well, I can tell you, you're on a journey right now. Make sure for the Farmall Cub, the plows for a Super A and Super C and all that will not fit it. You've got to have a specific plow for them.
Miss Debbie S. said, have you planted your spring onions?
They should be in the first of this
Monday
coming
or
week.
Tuesday.
And we already have the bed done. It's sitting there waiting. So.
Oh, before I forget, there was a couple of videos that popped up on TikTok in the last 2 or 3 days. It is not us.
It's not us.
It is Danny, but it ain't Danny.
Yeah, it's me, but somebody is using me.
I reported it, and if you see those, please report them. And then I went back, and there was 2 or 3 other accounts that was using Danny's information. I'm sure these people think that they're just passing on things, but that nobody has permission to use our information like that on TikTok. We are not on TikTok, okay? So if you see it, just report it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dutch Sense can't get anything out about the earthquakes at all. I keep up with Dutch Sense. He does community posts off and on.
Yeah.
Where we at?
Somebody wants to know how, Don P says, how's our ponds doing in the drought? Well, one of them's about 8 foot low, and the other one's about 8 foot low, and then one of them's about 4 foot low.
Susie Q, lemon juice will last in the freezer for
As long as
2
the
or
freezer,
3 years, I
as long
guess.
as the freezer stays froze, it'll last.
I've taken some out and used it at least a couple of years. I usually use mine pretty quick, usually within a year, but I have had some up to 2 years. What are we doing now?
Hold on here, I'm just...
You flipping it and I can't...
I have to get it back to where we can get it at here.
Okay. Any ideas on why our sugar cane isn't very sweet as Monkey Mama?
Well, the drought, when the drought is like it is, sugarcane don't get quite as sweet as it normally does. Ours, we haven't even tested ours yet because it hasn't even been cold here yet.
Yeah, a lot of people say they're not on TikTok. No, we've never been on TikTok.
We've never been on TikTok.
And I don't intend to go over there or any of those other platforms. YouTube and Patreon and Freesteading is about it.
Right.
I even Facebook, I don't put anything over on Facebook anymore. The community post on YouTube, and if they pull all that, well, Deep South goes away, I guess.
Yeah. Is there any fish left in the pond that lost the 8 foot, or do you have to restock it? Yeah, there's none of the fish has died.
Well, the one in the front did.
The catfish one, a lot of them died, but the one in the back with the bass in the brim, none of them have died yet.
And over at Pecan Grove, we fed those a couple of nights ago, and boy, they were just one catfish is so big because we caught several out of this pond and took over there. And Danny's like, whoa, his head had to have been that big around.
Does food grade, this is Tringo, does food grade DE expire? No, food grade DE should not expire.
What is the best grow bag for trees? I've joined the Arbor Foundation. That's Christian Renee.
Christian Renee, don't go less than 25 gallons because trees need at least 25 gallons to be able to form a root system big enough to sustain the tree.
All right, this photo junkie. Should citrus in containers be fertilized in the winter?
No, do not fertilize any of your citrus trees in the wintertime. Only fertilize them in the spring and the summer.
All right, so most everybody's saying they don't do TikTok and stuff. No, it's just a waste of time. You're sitting there, you're seeing quick little things, and before you know it, those quick little 1 minute things, you sat there for 30-45 minutes and you're just flipping through, and most of them are junk. You might learn something on one or two. Covington, Louisiana, Jen USA said since the last freeze their key lime hasn't bloomed or grown very much. Any ideas?
Anytime a citrus tree gets bit back or gets frozen pretty good, it takes it a year or two to recover. Our orange tree was covered with oranges last year, and it got froze really hard in the wintertime. It didn't kill it, but it did not even bloom this year at all. So, I mean, sometimes it takes, a year or so.
Let's see, what temps should you take carrots out of the ground? That's Melissa.
Well, you don't take carrots out of the ground based on temperatures. You take them out of the ground based on length of days they've been in the soil. But if you live where the ground freezes at, then what you probably should do if you can't take them out of the ground is to build up a really heavy bed of mulch over the top of them, say 12 inches deep or something like that, so the ground right there doesn't freeze. And lots of times they'll just overwinter there. You cut the tops off of them, they'll overwinter. As long as you don't have voles or mice or something like that to go underground and eat them. And if that's the case, then before the ground freezes, you need to take them out of the ground and put them in, or can them or do whatever you're going to do.
Not One More Inch says, what fertilizer do you recommend for blueberries and blackberries?
Well, blueberries and blackberries take two different types of fertilizer. Blueberries, I use sodium nitrate, 32, no, it's 3200, and then 12% sodium, sulfur. And the blackberries, I just use a good standard fertilizer, any 10-10-10, 13-13-13, or 8-24-24. Any of that kind of stuff will do good on blackberries, because blackberries love rich soil.
Okay, so Laura
Montanaro.
I'm not sure I'm butchering her last name, but Laura. My lemon tree needs to be pruned. I've watched your video where it says to remove the thorned branches, but all of the old branches were thorned and the new ones aren't, which get pruned.
Actually, citrus trees don't ever need pruning. Citrus trees are self-pruning. Unless you're just trying to get a specific shape out of that tree, I never prune mine. All I do is wait till after the winter time, and anything that died over winter, I cut those limbs out, and I just let mine grow. I've got one out here in the front that's almost, 15 feet tall? I mean, it's huge. That one by the porch, it's got the big old oranges on it.
The lemon tree?
No, the citrus tree that's right there.
Oh, the one that's got the satsumas?
Yeah, the one that's a big old huge one.
It's about leaned over and...
It's almost on the roof of the house.
Oh, you're talking about the one that's got the big things.
Yeah.
We got to do a video on that because they're getting ready.
I know. I mean,
it's probably 20 feet tall, isn't it? 15? At least 15.
It's probably 15 feet tall.
12 to 15.
I got one around back that's probably 15 feet tall.
Yeah, for the most part, we don't prune citrus unless it has dead leaves. He pruned the orange tree because a lot of it died back.
Yeah.
And that might have been what you saw on an orange, but there was a lemon one time I think you pruned because a lot of it died back.
Yeah.
You got any handgun shooting tips for accuracy?
Handgun shooting tips for accuracy. Practice. It's all about muscle memory. When I used to train people, it's all about, there's a specific way you grip your hand, your thumbs have to be together. There's certain techniques. There's a way you stand, the way you lock your arms, the way you lock your wrists.
And then practice.
Practice, because it's all about muscle memory. Your brain, whatever you do when you're practicing, and in a crisis situation, you will do exactly that same thing because your muscles remember that. It's just like me when I'm doing construction work. If I reach and go to cut a board, I automatically reach right here because inside this shirt right here is a pencil. Right there in my pocket is a pencil right here. I don't even think about it. I reach right there and my other hand goes around to my back pocket because that's where a square is. Whatever you do daily, routine, practice. That's what you'll do in a crisis situation. I've seen many law officers get killed because they go to a gun shooting range and they stand up and they shoot, and then they clip that clip out in their hand and lay it over to the side. Don't ever do that. When you clip that clip out, let it hit the ground and slam a nothing in there and keep going, because whatever you do when you practice is what you'll do in a crisis situation.
Okay, somebody asked how the high tunnel was doing.
We actually have all the pipes up on the outside, and we have the bows across the top. And I'm in the process now, which I can say thank you to Mark and Chris for coming this past week and helping me get to that point. I have two of the three runs down the top, the purlins down the top of it. And as soon as I get them on, then I can start putting the V-trusses and all in it. It had to take a back burner this week because something came up in the middle of the week and I wasn't able to.
Mark left Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Mark left Tuesday morning.
And then Chris came back.
Chris came Thursday.
And my mom and my daughter came Thursday.
Yeah.
Danny and Chris worked on
Firewood. We started building a 60-foot, if you can believe this. Chris and I started building a 60-foot raised bed, and we got one side of it done, and then we broke away from that, and we started cutting firewood and splitting firewood, and we did that pretty much all day.
Yeah.
Joe Mama says, "Wow, a gun commercial just came on."
Yeah, somebody said a laundry commercial. Oh.
It's the temperature here. We have had we've got the most beautiful leaf turn here that we've ever had.
I don't know if I'm gonna try and add some pictures in a video.
It's really crazy for it to have been as dry as it's been and as hot as it's been, for us to have the leaf color turn that we're having. I don't know if you can get that up there. You're there. You're there.
See the color of, what are those?
Those are pecan trees.
If I can hold it still, the pecan trees are everywhere on that property, and the color is amazing.
The color's amazing.
Ride around and look, and I was trying to see what else I got. We had a weird sky one night.
Yeah, we had a crazy sky one night.
Oh well. I did a lot of video. I didn't do as many pictures as I did video. Some of it's not as... We had some yellow and a little bit of orange.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can go from extreme heat that we had, extreme drought, and we're still in the extreme drought. We hadn't had any rain, and the leaves be that pretty because it's cold at night and hot during the day. It's almost like the desert. I mean, it's like we live in a desert.
Yeah, and the deal is we have one spot headed toward town just before we get to the main highway, and right on the side of the road is what? Reds, oranges, yellows,
any color,
greens and browns. The colors are so vibrant this year, and I guess the drought made that happen. I don't. And then we've gotten these cool nights just popped up the last month, so it did pretty good.
Howard and Renee Robinson said there's no such thing as fall anymore. Laugh out loud. This year has been our first fall that we've had since Wanda and I has been married. I mean, we haven't had
a spring this year.
Yeah, we had
and now we're having a fall.
Yeah.
And so I guess over the next few days we're going to have a little bit of rain. Hopefully, y'all keep praying, and then it's going to be a little cool, not cold, but in the 50s.
Yeah, 50s. Yeah. Vicky Shelby says, should we cover our blueberry bushes in winter? We live in Northeast Ohio. We never cover our blueberries here.
But we don't live in Ohio.
I don't live in Ohio either, but as far as I know, people up there don't cover. I mean, the wild blueberries don't get covered.
Deborah Davison says, do you fertilize the pecan trees?
In the spring, yes. Not any other time of the year. I do it in the spring.
We got a lot of them to do this year.
Yeah.
Danny has not cut any pecan trees, I don't think.
I will not cut a pecan tree for nothing.
The little sap seedlings, I guess you would call them, are everywhere. So he's cleaned out around them. Needless to say, you could ride around on the property and see at least, what, 300 or 400?
You probably see 300 or 400 of them or more. Journey to be self-sustainable says, we have a volunteer pecan tree pop up. Does it need any specific fertilizer? Mainly pecan trees' biggest issue is lime and zinc. You know, that's the two, on our soil analysis, that's the two they really stressed, was making sure the lime to get the pH right, and then the zinc. That was the two things they stressed on my soil test.
Most everybody up north is saying they don't cover their blueberries. As long as you got the variety that goes in your area. Now, if you got a variety that goes in the deep south and you're in Ohio, yeah, that might not work. But as long as they were selling in your area, it should be fine. Oh, I need to show some stuff. I forgot.
Oh, okay. Miss Wanda has some stuff
I'll be
here.
forgot, y'all. We had, let me see what the name is. I gotta find it.
She ain't told me nothing about this stuff. I've been
Miss
gone.
Ann sent a card and she wrote a note and stuff, and a couple of these are magnets.
Magnets for
that
the
go in the fridge, and asked that we prayers for her little 8-year-old grandson. His father took his life in the last few months.
Okay.
So she's asking for prayers for her grandson.
Okay.
Then I'm not sure who. I have to look and see names. Miss Diane. I'm not going to show everything Miss Diane sent, but she sent a box of goodies.
A box full of goodies from Miss Wanda.
Yeah. I think there's some turmeric, some raspberry dark chocolate. What is this? What does it say?
You don't ask me. Banana something, huh?
I don't know. There's pecans in here for Danny. Texas Pride jalapeno mustard. Never heard of jalapeno mustard.
Some good old hot mustard.
Yeah. And then there's other stuff. She sent a couple of some soap and Christmas ornaments. So, thank you, Miss Diane. And then one more. This one's heavy. All right, you're gonna have to hold me in the box.
Yeah, I gotta hold her. Now this right here, I had no clue about this till Miss Wanda showed it to me.
All right, so
I don't think you've even had everything out of here, have you?
I gotta look on the front. Look on the front and see. It come from Texas, I believe. No, it's from Oklahoma.
Rick
and Suzette. Yeah, they sent this from Oklahoma, but I thought the letter said it was from the pecans was from Texas, from her sister in Texas.
Oh, okay. So that's what's in here. You didn't tell me that.
But Lindor chocolates, y'all, and Godiva chocolates.
Yeah.
I hadn't opened this one. I've opened this one.
You didn't tell me I had pecans to crack.
You've
been holding out on me.
Yeah, so he's got his own pecans, and now he's got some of those. And the pecans that Miss Diane sent are already cracked. They're in halves.
Oh, okay.
I'll be putting some butter on them and cooking them in the oven. So,
yeah. Thunder Chicken Ranch says it's about 10 pounds of pecans.
Do what?
Thunder Chicken Ranch said it's about 10 pounds of pecans.
Okay, that's who sent it. Yeah.
Okay.
Rick and Suzette. I think that's their channel. Okay, I'm trying the Lindor. Y'all, I'm just while Daddy talks.
Yeah. Okay.
Get Miss Gail says,
it takes me a while now.
And prune my elderberries.
How do I fertilize and prune my elderberries? Actually, to be honest with you, I don't prune much of anything except specific fruit trees.
This one's good.
Like apples and pears and peaches is about all I really prune. I don't prune a lot of other stuff. I let nature just do its own thing, especially with elderberries and stuff like that.
Sharon Hilly says, how many strawberry plants can I put in a 24-inch diameter tub? And should I keep them in the greenhouse?
A 24-inch diameter tub, you can probably put 5 or 6 in it. That's going to be about it because they need space to grow. And strawberry plants get really big if they're taken care of.
Rhonda wants to know, does anybody have a praline recipe that's really great to do? I know Leslie Fox, if she's anywhere around, she does because her and Danny Fox know how to make some great pralines. Have you ever, Rick Putchuso wants to know, have I seen a video? No, we have not had internet service in the last little while, periodically. And so it's been tough to watch videos, put it that way.
Yeah. Dragonfly says Doug and Stacy have a video on pruning elderberries. We just put our elderberries in the woods and let them grow. We let nature do its own thing. So we got plenty of land to do that, and that's what we do.
This is really good.
Yeah. Ma G says, have you ever done air layering? I'd like to air layer a pecan tree. I've done air layering on peaches and apples and figs. I have never done it on a pecan tree. I don't know if it'll work on a pecan tree. But I know apples, peaches, and figs, it will work on those, and pears. But I'm not sure about a pecan tree because I've never done one.
That's finger licking good. All right, you want to announce these 3 soil test winners?
Now how you say that? Sienna?
Sienna.
Okay. All right, Miss Wanda has the names here of 3 of the 3 soil test winners that are here tonight.
And I'll need their... And
she will need your information emailed to her.
Address and phone number, please.
To Deep South Homestead at gmail.com. Jean Blair, you are one of the winners of a soil test kit. So
from Grower Solutions.
From Grower Solutions. So Ms. Jean, make sure you get Ms. Wanda your information tonight. Sienna Holmes is another winner of a soil test kit. Sienna, make sure you get your information to Ms. Wanda. And then Gail Watkins. Ms. Gail, I know you're still here because I seen you a while ago. Make sure you get your information to Ms. Wanda also. And we will get you in contact with, we'll get Growers Solutions in contact with you and get your soil test kit sent to your way.
Yeah, I will send them your name, address, and phone number. That's what they need in order to send them out. And so Grower Solution is having a sale right now. It's their Black Friday sale. It started November 3rd, going through December 1st. Y'all use our code DeepSouthBF for best friend. And then you can get $100 gift card at the checkout on whatever you order. And if you order $2,500 plus, free shipping.
Yeah.
Now that's limited to the United States.
That's the lower 48.
There's a clause in there.
Yeah.
But at least most of you live in an area that would get free shipping if you do $2,500.
Yeah.
They have all kinds of greenhouses. They have all kinds of stuff for greenhouses, your supplies, whatever.
Yeah, just and if any of y'all don't contact us pretty quick, you know,
then those will
go
to somebody else
next week.
So,
because we can't afford to wait around. I mean, we have.
And next week, I think I'm gonna have a couple of packs of Deep South seeds to give away.
Okay, so you hear that? Next week,
and
Deep South seed giveaway.
I've got Miss Lippy's Bayou Blends coming up, and some more copper rods.
Ah.
And I might talk Mr. Mickey and Miss Kathy into a pretty wooden something that I want to give away right at Christmas. Y'all remember that pretty wooden board and their stuff? We might do something pretty and wooden from
There's Miss Gail. Miss Gail, make sure you get your information to Miss Wanda. Gail's the first one. She's the first one.
Yeah.
That I've seen actually say anything.
So I'm not sure if the other two, Sienna Holmes and Miss Jean Blair. I thought Miss Jean was still in here. She might not be, but if we don't hear from them,
by tomorrow, we will do it. We will save them for next week and give them to somebody else.
Yeah.
We're going to try to give something away pretty much every week.
Between now and Christmas.
Between now and Christmas, yeah.
The first of the year. Yeah, Miss Lippy's Bayou Blend, she's making me up a pretty, I don't know, she'll send me a picture of it so I'll have it when we give it away. It'll have a supply of stuff in it. And so we're trying to use things that other homesteaders do. And
somebody said Jean commented, okay.
Okay, Miss Jean did, okay. I thought she was still in there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what else we got going on?
Oh, let's see here. I don't know. I gotta get a drink of water here.
I was trying to think what else we've actually done. I was gonna show.
Suzanne Critcher said, "Can I cut the top of my mulberry tree to keep it short?" You can if it's the dead of winter, you can. But don't do it unless it's the dead of winter. Do not cut your tree unless it is.
All right, I'm going to show them.
Jean, she says, I'm here. I said thank you right after you announced my name. Okay.
I thought so. I thought Miss Jean was still there. Y'all, I can't hold something up right. That is my oldest daughter, me, my mom, and of course Danny in the background.
Yeah, they caught me. So me and Chris was splitting and stacking firewood, and they come walking right over and had to take a picture.
It was my oldest daughter's birthday, and she and my mom come down, and we ate from Sleepy Bear here at Deep South, and then we rode over at Pecan Grove, and I took them through the woods riding around. My daughter gave me a hard time about driving. She always has since she's a teenager. And so we had a good afternoon. And
Jeff Jackson said, are y'all giving away any Deep South bacon seeds?
I wish we had some bacon seeds.
I wish we had some to give away. Really, I do, man.
That's something that we've got to look into. Our pig guy quit this past year, and we were expecting in September to have a pig because he usually raises them for us. We raised our own till a year and a half ago.
Yeah, we found this guy, and he does such a good job at what he does. We said, well, shoot, we'll just let him raise them, and then we'll just butcher them. And now he's not in business no more. So
we've got to find our own pig, and I guess fatten him up a little because we're out of bacon. We've been out of bacon for a while.
Renee said, how has the plastic covering held up on your high tunnels? Do you have to replace it periodically, and how long does it last? Well, ours has been on there now, going on, this will be the 4th year?
It's 3 years in, I'm trying to think, will it be 3 years in February, or is it 4 years?
It's either 3 or 4 years in February, and it still does good. What you have to understand is we put a shade cloth over it, 40% shade cloth, so the sun really doesn't destroy the plastic like you would think it does. So we get anywhere around 5, 6. They said you can get 6 years out of it pretty easy.
Wanda G said a sugarcane giveaway, please. How many people would like to have a box of sugarcane? We might have to give 1 box away. Sugarcane costs more to ship than it's worth. That's the problem. That we sold sugarcane every year, but this year we're replanting, and the shipping went up. I looked. Pirate Ship said that USPS has decided to raise their rates for Christmas, of course.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty good to send out like we used to, but we're not selling this year. Samaya
Bolus says, Danny, do you think when you reach 80, will you still be planting? I guess what she wants to know. And the answer is, I hope so. I don't want to ever stop.
Miss Darlene Wright said, heading south out of Jackson to Hattiesburg, that's here in Mississippi for y'all that don't know, there was at least 4 stands selling cane. For anybody in Mississippi that's wanting to buy any.
What highway are you on? 59?
She said south, didn't she?
Yeah, if you're heading south out of Jackson toward Hattiesburg, you got to be on Highway 49. I'm sorry, it'd be 49. So she's going to be going through McGee, Mendenhall, down around.
All them people that sell sugar cane.
All them people up through there be selling some sugar cane now.
Yeah, several people said they'd like a sugar cane giveaway, so we might see if we can do that. I put it in a 1 price box, but I saw that the 1 price box is going up some. Not huge, but everything is going up. So we might do that with a couple of seeds. I know everybody's wanting Danny corn seeds, so I know that's going to be in the giveaway. I'm going to fix a little packet of seed.
You know the honest to goodness truth, I'm going to be honest with you. I picked out seeds for all the people on YouTube and everything like that to sell. I sold probably 500 to 1,000 packs. And I haven't even picked my own out yet. You know, I hadn't even picked my own out. I have got to find.
Miss Mary Beth says she just wants 1 piece to chew. Miss Mary Beth, you're going to have to send me an address and I'll send you a piece to chew on.
Actually, we have the chewing cane. That's a specific kind of sugar cane.
And that would probably be better. Randy Pitt says, what is the name on your cane mill? He's been looking for one.
Mine is a Chattanooga
Yeah.
New Model. It's called Chattanooga New Model. It's a 1 horse. They make a 1 horse and a 2 horse. Mine's a 1 horse.
Cans Squatch. I'm not sure how you
Can
say
Squatch.
it. What is the best size greenhouse for feeding 2 people?
If you're gonna feed 2 people, you can't go. You need about 24 by 32 or 36 for 2 people. That's gonna be about the minimum that you're gonna get away with for feeding 2 people.
Miss D, 225. She's got to call it a night, but guys, her husband Donald has been in the hospital all week, or at least 2 or 3 days. But she got a better report today, and we want to remember him in prayer in a little bit. But for a couple of days, they were looking at some really bleak reports, and the report's not the best in the world, but it's better than it was a couple of days ago. And so he is going to have a stent put in his heart and have some treatments afterward. So they'll be headed home in a couple of days after a stent's put in. So y'all remember Miss D and Mr. Donald. Let's see, where are we at?
Let's see. I got to figure out where we're at.
My eyes are getting tired.
Yeah.
Have you finished the grist mill yet? No, that's what we were talking about today.
We were actually talking about that today. We was. I've got to find time. Right now I'm building raised beds and stuff like that. Trying to put that high tunnel together. I got to move cows. I mean,
we're supposed to be doing onions.
I cleared a pecan orchard.
Lots of
cutting
things
firewood. There's things that I'm trying to get everything ready in case I have to have something done to my eyes, and I'm just busting my tail.
Our corn will hold because we have some of it in the freezer and some of it in the cooler.
Yeah.
And corn will hold as long as it's like that. So it's not a major priority right now because we have some, but we do hope to get a good bit of that done shortly. His eyes do pretty good till he looks at the internet, so we have not had any internet for a while.
Yeah, I've been away from the internet now for over a month, and as long as I came in a while ago a little early because I hate this time. It got dark and there was nothing I could do. So I came in and sit down and I was going to go through some of our videos and give hearts or answer questions. A few minutes in, one of my eyes messed up and I had to just turn it off. I told Wanda, I said, it irritates me that I can't do what I love doing.
Somebody asked, do we do puzzles? They said they had seen some pretty cool farm roll puzzles. We have a couple. My son Jesse and his wife Patty sat here and did a puzzle last month. I think one piece was missing when they finally got it. I mean, that's so annoying to get to that down and you've got one piece missing. And
oh man,
what have you been doing with your free time?
Oh, what have I been doing in my free time? I probably sleep. The 4 hours that I have for free time, I probably sleep those 4 hours.
Yeah. Well, technically, we've been going to bed early the last week because this time is messing with us.
This time is horrible. It's horrible.
You can talk while I eat.
Can Squatch says, do the high tunnel kit store well? May not be able to get it assembled for a while. Yeah, it's all galvanized. It ain't, as long as you keep it, even if it gets wet, it ain't gonna hurt it because it's all galvanized. As long as it's not laying in the dirt or something like that. Mine has been laying there now for 2 weeks almost, and I mean it's
the one you put back here.
Oh yeah, Wanda's laid out here for almost a half a summer.
Yeah, it laid here for 2 or 3 months before we started with it, and the other one laid there a month or 2 before you did it.
Yeah.
They do pretty good.
Yeah.
Read what you sow. You'll have to send it to P.O. Box 462, Wiggins, Mississippi. How many cows do you have?
Juju wants to know how many cows do I have. You know, I don't even really know anymore. Let's see. I got
4.
I got one,
Pecan
2.
Grove.
I got 4 at Pecan Grove, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 8 here. Of course, 2 of them will be heading to freezer camp first of the year, but
and we might have one little girl for sale. We might have 2 mamas that are.
I may sell 2 of my mamas, and I might sell one of my little girls. I'm not sure.
The mamas would be bred.
Yeah, the mamas will be bred.
So if anybody's looking for Dexters in the next little while, probably the next couple of months.
I don't even know. It depends on what I have to do. Twisted Pony wants to know, how far from cedars must apple trees be planted? You know, I don't actually know the answer to that because we have cedar trees here and we have apple trees here, and I don't ever have a problem with cedar rust. At Pecan Grove, there's cotton picking cedar trees everywhere over there. And, of course, now we just planted apple trees over there, so I can't really, I don't know.
Cool Breeze Cottage says your video on the next Great Depression that you made 5 years ago was pure prophecy. I watched it again today. Well, y'all better go watch it because it might get taken down. I keep saying, if you want to see it, you better go see it because the way they're pulling my videos, they may not stay there very long. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people want Dexters, but they're in Washington and California, and they said, there's David the Good. He's a new daddy.
Oh, is he?
He has another, I think it's a boy, wasn't it, David? How was the cane harvest this year? We still ain't harvested
cane. We ain't harvested ours, David. It ain't got cold enough yet.
We planted some cane. Now, we took some replanted, and we're fixing to replant some more, but we hadn't made cane syrup because, number one, we got
too dry.
Fire hazard.
And number 2, we don't make cane syrup unless it's freezing weather. You
remember last year?
You remember when you was here how cold it was?
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, y'all tell David the Good congratulations on the little baby.
Yeah.
That was born, I think, yesterday or the day before. It's a happy boy. Yep, that's it. Miss Vicky said, we bought a 20 by 60 high tunnel last October and only got the frame up last year. Just got the plastic up this year and it did fine. And I saw somebody else said their plastic, they held it for like 2 or 3 years and then put it up and didn't have any problems. Greenhouse plastic is a lot thicker than any plastic you just buy.
Plus it's UV protected too.
Yeah. Photo Junkie says, please pray for me. More tests ordered with a heart.
Oh man.
A little girl named Clementine is Billy and Michelle's from Permapasture Farms. They have a granddaughter named Clementine. That's why Danny was singing Clementine last week.
Yeah.
Let's see. Don't cedar trees take up away from other trees and plants?
Water from other trees and plants.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the cedar tree thing. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
David said, yes, number 11. Thank you all.
What are we...
let's see here. How close are we? Oh, we got 6 more minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So y'all can be putting up your prayer request. I want to remember Mr. John. This is the guy that throughout the years he's been a really good friend of ours. Even though we've never met him, he's been very encouraging.
Yeah.
And he's the one that sends pictures. If any of you have seen on Freesteading and sometimes on YouTube in the community posts and stuff, I will share some of his pictures. And he's been drawing for maybe 3 years now.
Been a pretty good while. He does a lot of gardening. And
he sends me the pictures and lets me share them. And he had something go on about 3 or 4 weeks ago and almost passed away. And then he sent a message the past couple of weeks, said, hey, I'm back, I'm doing okay, having to take it slow. So we want to remember Mr. John too.
Let's see here.
I see unspoken.
I do see some unspoken prayer requests. Yeah. Mother going in for a shoulder replacement.
Is there any way to record videos? I have a VCR and a DVD recorder. Are you saying take them off, record them off YouTube? I really don't know unless you just set a camera up and point it at the screen and do it. I'm not tech savvy. I wouldn't know.
Let's see here. I'm trying to.
People are saying, go ahead and thumbs up now. We only got 544 thumbs up, and there's 1,800 watching. Yeah. We need a few more thumbs up.
We're not in any algorithm anymore because people refuse to do thumbs up and stuff like that. So the YouTube doesn't put us in an algorithm. So people have to go hunt us up.
They have to hunt us. Everybody's having to hunt us.
And I want to say before we get off here tonight, thank you to all of our comrades and brothers and sisters that served in the armed forces. It's Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. It's hard to find anybody who's truly patriotic anymore. Most people are just in the service now for a paycheck or a college education. They're not there because, many are not there because they want to protect and love their country. They love freedom. And that's one of the things that does bother me in the world we live in today. There was a lot of talk about the draft getting started back and all this kind of stuff. I don't think that's going to happen unless there is a huge number of people killed off at one given time. Now, if that happens, yeah, they might institute the draft back, but I don't really look for them to do it right now.
We've got a lot of people asking for prayer requests and stuff, and they're wanting a tip. After a while, maybe he has a tip. I don't know if he remembered or not, but our country, our world.
Yeah, we got a lot going on in the world right now. I can't talk about it because I get in trouble.
Politicians. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Yeah, the keywords got you kind of kicked and frozen for a few minutes, and then the chat went berserk.
Yeah.
Danny's trying to be not too.
I'm trying to be as discreet as I know how. It's just that they know whenever people, some people can get on there and just rattle, and they don't worry about them. They don't even take their videos down. They don't do nothing because they don't know what they're talking about. But when somebody sits down and tells you the honest to goodness truth, they know the truth, and they know when you strike a nerve, then they like a while ago when I started talking about stuff, they instantly shut me down, instantly, and y'all see that.
We're in the green now.
And
go figure.
Go figure that. Yeah. Anyway,
we lost over 600 watching. Yeah, once they kicked us out.
Yeah.
It just went.
When they kick us out like that, people just.
They had to come back and find us again.
Yeah.
And so, that hurts the algorithm too. There when they do that.
When they do that, I mean, it's. I'm telling you, y'all think I'm joking, but I'm honest to goodness telling you the truth. When I start talking about this stuff, they know who I am, and they just pinpoint me.
And there's nowhere to talk freely. People are asking that. All platforms right now, you might can on a few, but I would say within the year, they're going to be cutting back on a lot of it. So it's not worth us trying to swap platforms right now. It'd be better that we just do our thing until they take it away from us.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay.
There's a lot of channels that talk about a lot of stuff that hadn't got pulled yet.
Yeah.
But eventually.
It will eventually happen.
They hit one at a time here and there.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to pray.
Yeah, we're
for
going to
all
go
the
ahead and
people.
pray. We're going to pray before they actually shut us off, okay?
At least we're going to get that part
We're going to get that part in. We're going to get the most important part in.
In Jesus' name, we're going to get it done.
Yeah. Father, we come to you tonight. We pray in the name of Christ tonight, Lord, that our prayer will be heard all the way to the throne of God. And Lord, I just pray that you'll let it, as it comes up before you, it'll be a sweet savor, and it'll go up into your nostrils. And Father, it'll just be something that you'll just love, and you'll praise us for actually worshiping you with spirit and truth tonight. And Father, we want to come to you, not always asking, but we want to come to you thanking you for all that you've done. We want to let you know how appreciative we are for your answer to prayers in our lives. Thank you so much for that. And then, Father, tonight there's been many requests that's gone up here tonight. People needing you to step in to their lives and to heal their bodies, Father, because they're having problems. And Lord, they're having physical issues. I'm sure some's having some emotional issues tonight also, because there's always those that have emotional needs and mental needs, Lord, and they really don't want to say anything. They really just like to keep it to themselves. And Father, those are the ones that's really, really special and need your really special attention, because we know we had one here tonight said pray for a family member that lost a father because of loss of life, and took his own life. And then we got an email here earlier tonight said pray for one of the family members that just Saturday took their life. Father, we're going to see more of this in the world that we're going into. This is going to become the norm. People that can't cope with the things that's going on around them. And it's only going to get worse. So, Father, we're speaking tonight, asking that you give us the strength, give us the spirit, give us your peace and your understanding tonight, so that we can understand what's going on around us, and we can see our way through it, Father. And we want to lean on you, and we want you to help us out in that area. We've got people here tonight going into the holiday seasons, I'm sure, that's having financial issues. And I'm going to ask tonight that you bless their finances, Lord, so that they have ample enough finances to make it through the holiday seasons. And there's going to be those that don't really have enough food to eat, because food's so expensive, and a lot of people's on limited incomes. And Father, I pray tonight that you will be able to help these people have enough food to make it through the holidays, so that they don't go hungry. And I want to thank tonight, say a special thank you to the ones that served our country, especially to the ones who've, the family members of lost loved ones who's lost their life serving a country, who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, that we can sit here tonight with what freedom we have on this YouTube channel and express our thoughts and our feelings and our prayers. And we just want to be mindful of those people who's done that and say thank you for their service also. Go with us tonight. Guide, direct us, and just love us, Father. Help us as we get ready to endure another week that will be energized, full of the Spirit, and have the whole armor of God on, so that we can withstand the fiery darts that get thrown at us on a daily basis now. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. All right.
All right, so they'll catch up with us in a minute. It'll go.
Yeah, it'll just jump here in a minute.
Yeah, thank you all for stopping by today. Do you have a tip? Did you?
Miss Gail is right. Pretty soon I won't be able. They won't allow me to pray on here anymore, because they'll cut me off whenever I start praying.
Well, as long as you don't pray certain things, they might not for a while, but eventually that will go away.
Eventually it'll go away.
Christians will be the next target,
Yep.
and you know we kind of know that already, but the Bible tells us that, so.
Yeah, Christians will be the next ones in line.
We're not going to let it get us down. We're just going to keep going. All right, so tip.
Tiptoe through the tulips. Okay.
I think that calls for another candy.
Does that call for? Well, Miss Wanda here is a candy-holic, y'all.
These things are good.
Well, I know they're good. Lindor always made good chocolate.
I'm telling you.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
gonna try this one now. I tried the blue one and the white, the gold one. Let's see what this one is. You couldn't tell them tips. They ain't interested in my
I'm
candy.
sitting here. I know. I'm sitting here reading. Carolyn said this hour was just too short. It always feels like it's really short to us here. But anyway, I'm just sitting here trying to think. I have a couple of things.
Okay, Leslie Harris, right. Chocolate is medicine.
It is medicine.
And I need a lot of medicine.
It's good for the soul. It's good for the heart. Yeah, there we go.
It's good for my taste buds.
Yes. Yeah, I actually have a couple of things. I'm trying to figure out which one of them I really want to. Today, let me just say this. I'm going to use one of them tonight. Today, one of the biggest issues with people that I'm running into today is people live in a bubble. You know, and we don't really see what's going on around us because we're in our own little world. We really don't get outside our comfort zone. And when you don't get outside your comfort zone, you really don't know what's happening in the world around you. Most people watch we used to call it the boob tube or TV or whatever you want to call it, the Devil's Playhouse or however you want to say it. And they think that what they're seeing there is the honest truth, and there's actually very little of it that is even any truth at all. Most of it is propaganda. The CIA in the early 50s and 60s took control of television, and they got the gatekeepers, and they monitor everything that's put out there. What they don't want people to know, people don't know, and they see the news and they twist it just enough that it sounds good, and it makes people live in a bubble because they think everything's okay, when really it's not okay. Our country's in the worst shape it's ever been in our history right now, and it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. And to be honest with you, if y'all have followed us very long, I told you about, 2 years ago, that the Lord laid on my heart that his hand had been lifted off of this nation, and that we was going to see all kinds of wicked things start happening in this nation. And this nation was going to go downhill. Well, all you've got to do is back up 2 years and see what has transpired. Lots of our food places have burnt down that grows in food and all this kind of stuff has went away. Now you're going to start seeing our petroleum places go down. I mean, that's probably going to be the next thing in line. So, get a grip on life and understand what's actually taking place. Don't believe what you see on TV because it's not real. Or most of
YouTube.
And a lot of YouTube ain't even real. That's why they keep pulling my videos. When I tell you something that's the truth, they take it down because it goes against what the gatekeepers have said. And the only way that they can keep what they have out there and people not know any difference is to take people like me and other people down who will tell you the truth, and so that the truth doesn't get out there. I mean, there's things coming in the skies you're going to see here before long that's going to blow your mind. I want to say so much.
You have to just be very careful with news anyways. And Sienna Holmes is the one that said about real news. You were one of the soil test winners, so if send me a
yes, send us your information, your
Deep South Homestead, your address and phone number.
Address and phone number, so we can get you your soil test kit, Sienna.
But yeah, there's not. I mean, I look at all kinds of headlines, and I can about tell you who's just reading off of a sheet of paper and stuff. And I tell Danny he hasn't really been paying any attention to YouTube for almost a month.
Almost a month. I've not even been on YouTube.
So I told him, he'll say, so what's the weather like? And I'll kind of tell him about the weather. And I said, all the headlines, I kind of brief him on it. I said, but every one of them's reading off a piece of paper.
Yep.
And if you pull it up, it's no matter if it's Homesteaders or if it's CNN, ABC, Fox News, it don't matter. Everybody's telling you the same thing that they caught online somewhere, and they're just repeating.
This is why lots of YouTubers don't get pulled down for what they say, because they're just saying what has already been said on TV. And,
or in
the news somewhere, they're not telling you what's going on behind the scenes.
And so where do you get real news? You have to pick and choose, and you really won't know.
You got to know somebody.
And AI can rewrite a story like that,
yeah,
and fix it, and you will think it's true, and he'll think it's not true.
Yeah.
Two different. AI's just too smart now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean it's all pre-wrote out.
That's why we don't watch very much of anything.
Yeah, I don't want nothing messing with when I talk to someone one-on-one. People will contact me or I contact them. It's a one-on-one thing, and I don't watch TV, period.
Michigan Lifestyle says, just read in between the lines and think outside the box and don't trust anybody. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Just do the best you can and take care of your family and take care of yourself. I can't
tell you on Patreon either because we have to upload on YouTube.
I can upload on Patreon now, but they're starting to... Patreon has rules and regulations now.
Yeah, you have to follow their rules and regulations also.
I can't upload to Patreon now. They started that recently, but there's rules and regulations I have to watch there too.
The truth of the matter is, just read the Bible. It's all there. It's all in the Bible. Everything I tell anybody comes from the Bible. It's all there. It's prophetic, and all you got to do is just look at the events taking place in the world. I mean, I've told y'all, watch Damascus. I mean, I've told you. You know, I mean, just keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on Egypt. I mean, keep your eyes on Saudi Arabia. These places over there. These are places that are key figures. Turkey, these are key places. Iran, all these places are key figures in the Middle East. Watch those places, and you will see what I'm talking about. It's about to go viral, is all I'm going to say.
Y'all just grow what you can grow. Prep what you can prep.
Yes.
Keep your eyes open. Have your soul prepared. Know where you're going. And
I mean, look, one thing is...
live your life.
Don't be afraid, because you're going to see things in the near future that's going to be like really tall, and they're going to freak you out. So don't be freaked out when you see these really tall things. Okay?
Right.
Okay, I've said enough. I'm gonna get in trouble.